Hello everybody and welcome back to my Planet Coaster video, and I'm not going to say the S word. I'm not going to tempt fate on the subject. Now quickly at the start of this video, what I am going to do, as mentioned in the last video, is get this fence fixed. Hopefully get it rotated round so that the pattern is on the correct side. Now I do start to notice some slightly finicky issues with product moving, editing, placing and stuff like that, which I'm not sure why it's occurring, but this gate, as soon as I start to move it, suddenly becomes floating. It's no longer attached to the surface. And later on in the video I will have issues again trying to move items and objects, and I'm not sure why that's happening. If anyone out there knows, leave some comments and let me know why it's basically being a pain in the backside to move certain items and why you can't get them positioned in the right places. But I've got that round the right way. Now I'm just going to quickly copy and duplicate this and get it snapped exactly on top of the other fence to continue it on a little bit. I probably could do with rotating that just to make sure it is lined up and aligned with the curb. But that's looking good. It looks like I've got one continuous fence, and obviously what I plan to do at some point is extend this one. The good thing is, at this moment in time, my rides are looking very profitable. I'm not sure why I said it like that. I got a little bit excited and carried away. But one of the things I am going to be looking at doing is getting my park entrance building built and set up. Now I'm not sure what to make it out of. I'll be quite honest. I don't know what material is going to look good. Glass? Is glass an appropriate material? Wood, some plastics and metals and painted woods and various other materials we've got access to. Concrete. I'm not sure. Not sure what looks good or is going to look good in my tropical theme park. Stucco walls, that doesn't look too brilliant, I'll be quite honest. That looks a bit naff. What else have we got? What's that? Concrete? Concrete looks a bit... not sold. I'm not sold on some of these materials, I'll be quite honest. I think we could do with a wider selection of building materials in the game. I don't think I have. And also I want to make sure I get this aligned properly as well. So do I put down a floor piece first so I can start building from a grid system? I am not sure. Or do I just take the risk and slap the wall where I want it? That people aren't going to see that. But until I slap an item down, I'm not going to have access to the grid system to make sure I get everything built on the right place. You know what? I think I'm just going to go for walls. I'm just going to put the walls in. In actual fact, if I put the archways in first, around the gate entrances, that will make it a lot better. Okay, and then I can spin that one round. Make sure I've got the grid set to the right sizing. There we go, that doesn't look too bad as an entranceway. I'm on this one. And I noticed that middle park gate is still broken. People still can't get through it. I noticed that in the last video as well. I wondered why Ken and Deirdre wouldn't enter through that gate, and I wondered why other people were... And yeah, for whatever reason, they can't get through that gate into the park. Don't know why that is. Let me try deleting the path quickly and re-putting it in. Nope, still can't get through. Okay, let me try again. Okay, I've put a path in now. Can you get through? Can you get through? You can! Brilliant. Fixed it. Aced it. Nailed it. Can't be stopped. Now's not an appropriate time really for that comment, I don't think. It's not rocket science. You should have got it right first time when you built the gates. Right, let's think. Let's move that for a start. Because again, trying to get the fence snapped to the grid is proving difficult. It's going to prove very difficult because I'm not going to be able to snap it on that side. See? See? It's going to look horrible. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. That looks crap. So, let's delete that. Yeah, because see, when I'm editing a building, everything snaps to the grid. I can't freeform move stuff while it's part of a building. And that's the issue I'm having. I don't know how to fix that. I can't do like the advanced fine movement of a building that's on a grid. It just won't allow me to adjust the position of pieces. So, bulldoze, waste of money. I'm going to duplicate that bit there, which is a little bit better. It's not perfect. I know it looks a little bit odd. It's not quite 100% perfect snap to the gate. I accept that. I need to adjust it, and the grid keeps changing sizes as well. It doesn't remember what you've set it to, which is again another sort of fiddly, finicky bit of Planet Coaster building. The fact that the grid size keeps changing every time you come in and out of editing mode, which can make it quite frustrating to build buildings. And I've put that in the wrong place. I'm gonna have to move it. There we go. I'm trying my best. I'm doing this very, very quickly. I'm not taking a great amount of time on it because people would get very bored watching me spending hours just placing wall panels in game. You clearly want to get to the fun stuff, which is me dealing with park issues more predominantly. I'm going to need to put in another archway there. But first, let me get this linked up. See, that piece is in the wrong place, and it's going to mess up my wall. I need to adjust that. That front corner is wrong, and it's messing up the alignment of everything. So, yeah. In fact, actually, both of those pieces have been put in wrong, so I need to move both of them. There we go. JD. Measure twice, cut once. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. I'm very bad at doing it. Build that along there. And that's another thing. This is supposed to be glass. How come you can't see through it? And why does it not look like glass? Why does it look like black panelling? Not sold on the whole glass wall pieces. Okay. I may have to put these pieces just ever so slightly on the pathway. I think that, although it doesn't look ideal, it solves the problem. I've got a good archway, people can get in, and eventually at some point I will put a roof on this building. However, I do have other issues at the minute. I've got a problem with park security because I've got no security guards. People keep getting pickpocketed and robbed, so I need to put in some security guys, which I'm doing now. I could probably do with some security cameras too. Now, I should have somewhere in my little collection of bits and pieces security cameras with lights. Now they're a bit expensive, I think. Not to put down, but to run and maintain. I may possibly, spoilers for later in the video, put in too many of these light camera systems at this stage. Let's move these and put them either side of the main entranceway on the path, so at least I can capture people coming in and out of the park. I don't know how exactly Zen, the camera system, the security system. I'm not too au fait on the security system. During career mode, it wasn't enabled in any of the scenarios, so you didn't have to sort of deal with it. However, in challenge mode, it is enabled. You can turn it off in the options if you don't want it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try and deal with the security system. But yeah, these lights and camera systems that I'm dropping in are quite expensive on your monthly profits to run. I do believe they're quite dear. They're like $200 for one of those units, and I'm going to spend massive amounts each month. That's going to eat into my finances very quickly. But we're going to catch criminals already. We've caught somebody. We've caught a thief, look. Here we go. Here's our first person who's been ejected from the park because she's a criminal. Look at her. Yeah, head down, walk of shame. You thief. You thief. And that's the thing. Need to kick out as many of those types as we can, because that will do your park rating down very quickly if your guests believe they're getting robbed all the time. It will make your guests unhappy, your park rating will decline, your profitability will decline, and you'll go out of business. As well we will if we keep having puddles of puke everywhere. Oh dear. Why isn't the mechanic fella cleaning that up while he's waiting to inspect the ride? Can't you get a mop out, mate? Please. I don't need pools of puke everywhere. Building. I need to put a roof on the building, really. But have we got anything? Research. Have we got anything unlocked? Yes, we have. All our scenery pieces that I started researching in the last episode. So that'll unlock a few more items that I can get to place and have fun with in the game. Let's research first aid, because that will combat the puke situation. Let's go for let's also research some more rides, because I've only got 2 at the moment. So let's go for a thrill ride and a kiddies ride, because we need to. And we're going to crank up the money on these so we can research these a lot quicker. Again, this is going to eat into your profits very quickly. The more you spend per month on research to try and get stuff unlocked quicker is obviously going to be a big hit on your finances. The scenery rating on the carousel's poor. I need to put in some stuff. I need to put in some items. Try and make this a little bit more profitable too. Okay, I think some tree planty type stuff is probably best, like I did on the Wild Blue, or whatever the ride's called. That's probably what I need to be aiming for. Yeah, something like that. That looks great. If I can get it placed in such a way that it's going to clip with the building, and then it's going to interfere with me putting a roof on. Possibly. Maybe. Again, am I looking into the future? Or am I again just doing spoilers because I'm recording this commentary after I've recorded the video footage. And I'm now putting the commentary down as I'm editing the video. This is the final step in my editing process. I've edited the video, I'm now doing the commentary, I will then render it, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube if people wanted an insight into how I do my videos. Or certainly these videos, these Planet Coaster ones. Sometimes I record the commentary as I'm playing the game, as I do with most of my Let's Play series, like my Witcher 3 and stuff like that. For videos like this, again, I find it best to record the commentary as a separate thing, because again, I don't actually know what's going to be in the video until I've gone through it, edited it and cut it down for time reasons. And therefore I don't want a commentary track on the initial footage, because it might end up getting cut and edited all out of order and sequence and context and just sound very weird. So it's best to record a fresh commentary on the actual finished edited video before I then go and do my render. So yes, moving those bushes out the way has been good, because now when I come to build my roof or my upper floor on my park entry system thingy, we're not going to get any clashing or clipping. Okay. Now what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? I don't know. Lights are coming on. Good. I'm going to of course I'm going to check my park entry, because in the last video it went from daylight to sunset to night to dawn incredibly quickly. And the reason for that is my park opening time, my closing time, was set very early. So I've now set it to 10 PM, so I get a slightly longer nighttime view of my park. Look. Rides by candlelight almost. And you can see the lights being generated from those security camera systems, which just give the pathways a little bit of illumination. Obviously those fences that I put in, those walls, they have lights on them as well, so copying and extending them around all my pathways is going to be very, very useful. And I'm just going to slap on this little 2-meter section of glass wall to raise the height of the entranceway just a little bit. I don't want to make this building too high, too tall and massive. But what I want to do is just raise it up a little bit and then put the roof on top of that, just so, you know, where I've got my archways here, there's just a little bit more material above them before it goes into the roof. And I appreciate I need to go back and edit and adjust some of these, because it doesn't match. Look. I need to shift these pieces, don't I? Because of course my archways aren't full width like that. Look, there we go. And then put that piece in there, and it should then match the texture of the one below it. Look, perfect. And I realise as I'm doing this that I'm spending a lot of money on buildings at this point in time. By putting in the security and the cameras, I'm spending an incredible amount on that. I'm spending an incredible amount on research projects, so my park finances are crashing very quickly towards negatives. And I've placed a wall piece in the wrong place. Look, I will have to go back and fix that in a moment. Okay, just get these put in quickly. I bet you're pleased I've actually sped up the actual video footage a little bit. Otherwise it's about 1.5 times faster, and I actually think as I'm doing some of this building stuff in future videos, I may be better off speeding it up to double the speed, just to get it done and dusted a lot faster. Okay, what have we got? We've got park research, so let's reveal what we got. We've got the first aid building, which is fantastic. That's what I want. First aid. I'm going to start researching ATMs, but I'm not going to change how much I'm spending per month on those because my finances are looking a little bit precarious. Partly because of the over-reliance or the excessive amount of security cameras I've put in. First aid buildings. Now these are pre-built, these are workshop blueprints again. I just want to slap something in quite quickly. But most of this stuff is all sci-fi themed. Or, again, that's a lot of things I tend to notice about the Steam Workshop content. A lot of the stuff that people build tends to be either sci-fi themed or pirate themed. A lot of the other themes are missing or neglected in some way. I mean, there's a few fairy tale sort of themed pieces that I've got downloaded. There's a couple of Western theme, but there's quite a lot of gaps in the different sort of themes for buildings and stuff, and it's something that I hope going forward mod creators, mod authors will fix and get some more different sort of content put in, because I don't necessarily want sci-fi themed buildings in my tropical park. I would like to keep sci-fi themed buildings to a maybe sci-fi themed area of the park. Same with the other themed pieces. Have, you know, like a pirate area or whatever. Just having random buildings positioned all over the place for the sake of placing buildings just doesn't appeal to me in my own park that I'm creating. Okay, let's have a look at park management again. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of research. Some of these items will unlock fairly soon. Which will give me access to a few more rides, which could be very beneficial for me to get put in as quickly as I can. And I'm thinking of putting rides in maybe opposite where I've got my current ride. So my next thrill ride will go opposite Wild Blue, and maybe put a few shops in that gap between Wild Blue and the park entrance. Again, family rides in the area opposite the Venetian Carousel, and basically have like a path that comes down and around. And basically have like a little block, if you like, a little block where I've got my thrill rides so people can wander around and go to all the flat rides. And then, as I say, the plan is when you go deeper into the park, then that's when you'll hit all the roller coasters and stuff. So perhaps a block either side with my, like a grid-based block system with my flat rides in. Obviously unlock a few more of these, the Whirligig and the Skizzer. Not massively entertaining and appealing rides. Okay, let's research a couple more, or start the research on a couple more. I'm not going to change the money again because I'm spending too much as it is a month already, and I need to rapidly adjust my expenditure, because otherwise this will be a very short-lived dream of my own theme park, because I will go bankrupt very quickly. And like I say, all them security cameras aren't helping me. The fact that I've only got 2 rides and the queues are pretty full means I've got a lot of money just stuck. I also want to try and fix this gateway if I can and extend this path. I'm going to create a new blueprint out of that. So I've got like an extended double piece with my end caps on, so I'm going to create my own blueprint from that. I know I used a workshop mod for the initial, if you like, single piece of the gateway, but I have now expanded on that and extended that look to create a 4-piece fence railing system. So I'm going to save that as my own blueprint. I'm not going to upload it to the workshop though, because obviously the initial idea is not mine. But for me and my part, being able to slap in multiples of these will be a lot easier than the copy and duplicating business. So I'll just give it some tags so it's a little bit easier to find later on when I'm searching through the blueprints, because there are lots of, I have lots of blueprints. I have added lots of workshop mod stuff. Now I need to find it. Need to find where it saved it. I should probably spot it a lot easier because it's the one with the photo taken at night time. No, that's the original one. There it is, there it is, there it is. Right. So again, do what we did last time, put it in, overlap it. So it looks like it's just one continuous fence piece, not multiple bits. And then add another one on there. That works very well. Now I need to put in... I need to squeeze in a small piece now, don't I? And this is when I start to have trouble. This is when I start to have, like, issues with things. Okay, my challenges are roller coaster based. Make profit from a roller coaster and make a 500-meter long roller coaster. So those challenges are not something I'm going to be able to complete anytime soon, because I don't have anywhere near enough finances to think about putting in a roller coaster, because they're very expensive items to add to the game. We're talking over 10 grand. And I've only got access to this custom coaster if I wanted to build that. The arrow thingy, my bobby. So I'm not going to be building any roller coasters anytime soon. And again, my finances are... I think it's these. I need to probably delete a few of these. Try and cut down my costs. I've got the main area of the park covered where people are coming in and out. I may look at removing some of those security cameras later on, but what I want to do is get this. See, that's a little bit too long. I just want, what I want is a piece of the fence. But again, if I just take that piece, duplicate it and spin it round, it's not going to match because the pattern's going to be on the wrong side. I wonder if I can copy out just the fencey bit and the lights, and maybe the end cap there on the left hand side. Okay, looks like I've got the fence selected, yeah. What am I doing? I'm selecting that fence. I don't want to select that fence. That's it. Now I need that bit on the top. Just the bit on the top, please. Well, have I got it? Well, let's have a look. Yes! But here we go. It seems to want to now snap to the grid. And I don't want it snapping to the grid, do I? Because it's not going to put it in the right place else. I want to free place it. I want to be able to free place, and I don't know how. This is the problem I'm having now. So I place it there, fair enough. Place it at the end of the path. Now I want to shift it along. And it's not going to let me. Because it reckons it's part of the building now, and I don't know what building it thinks it's a part of. Unless of course it's because I edited that piece, that gate piece, and now it's copying and pasting it into that. I think what I may need to do, the way around it in the next video, will be to place another fence piece on its own. Delete the bits off it I don't want, and then move it. So it's a separate entity from the gate I've already got, fence I've already got in place, because I think that's where I'm at running into the issue. Because I've copied this section out of another section, the game thinks it's part of a building, and it's not going to give me the option to do the advanced moving and placing of the item, because it's obsessed with getting everything lined up to the grid system. And it certainly leads me to think that, because I bulldoze that now, and when I look, the end of my gate, my fence has disappeared. So that definitely confirms my suspicion that copying and pasting that small part of the gate, it was actually doing it as almost an additional piece of that first gateway piece. So I need to look at that. I need to be a bit mindful of that when I'm doing future buildings and editings. It might be better for me just, instead of copying and pasting items that are already placed, to put down new bits and edit them, and then, because it's great having this, you know, massive length of fence piece, but if I can't just snip little bits out of it and move them and fine move them, it's not going to be easy to position it around my park when my paths and junctions are all going to be at different lengths. Okay, we've got the ATM unlocked. We've got the first aid unlocked. So facility wise, we're doing okay. Guests are complaining about being thirsty, so I may need to look at putting in some shops and stuff. Certainly down near the thrill ride, because people tend to be thirsty when they come off the thrill rides. That's what I've noticed from playing through career mode. Drink shops do better near thrill rides. Food shops, depending on what type of food shops they are, tend to do well around the family rides, the kids rides. I guess children get hungry. I'm going to delete these cameras. I've decided they've got to go. They're costing me too much money. I'm going to just live with the 3 that I've got in place at the minute. I may even remove one more, the one near the wild blue, because it is burning through my cash. I'm not making a lot of profit at all. So as soon as I finish researching the items I've currently got being researched, I'm not going to start anymore, because I need to start getting some cash in the bank, because otherwise I'm not even going to be able to place new rides. And like I say, at the minute I've got a bit of a log jam, because I've only got the 2 rides. People are stuck in the queues for those rides, so I've basically got dead money sitting everywhere. I need to get a couple more rides in, so people have got alternatives. Whilst obviously the queues are full for those 2 rides, they can go somewhere else. It makes sense. supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for rides at the minute, and I'm not in a position to supply that. So that is what I need to do. I basically need to kind of stop the huge expenditure and go back to building the park slowly. Let's have a look. What else have we got? So we're nearly... It's going to take us a little bit longer to research those than I would like. I could possibly take out a loan, of course. That is something to consider. If I take a loan, I could quickly put in a couple of rides and get generating some more income. But then I'd have to be very mindful that I would need to pay that loan back very quickly. So yeah, a lot to think about going forward. And I need to get the roof on the entrance building as well, but that's an expense I'm not going to be taking on until I start generating a lot more profit. I need to get my finances increasing because I'm down to like, you know, $100 pretty much. You know, I'm not making massive amounts of money. So this is probably the correct time to bring this video to an end, as there's not a lot more I'm going to be able to do at this point. I will then need to look at in the next video at how I'm making my profits and how I'm going to get a bit more cash flow coming in. I don't want to start charging ticket prices and entry prices. I don't want to do that yet. I think it will probably be a case of me loaning up and then whacking in the whirly rig ride that I researched and the thrill ride that I researched. So for now, thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to join me again in the next video. I will see you all again very soon. Thank you. Remember, leave your likes, subscribe, leave your comments and feedback. You've been a wonderful audience. Goodbye for now.